Our beliefs influence our thoughts, which influences our feelings and our actions. They basically control our entire lives. They're heavily influenced by our childhood, conditioning from our parents, and from the culture that we grew up in. With that context, we can examine beliefs to see if they're helpful or unhelpful. And a lot of beliefs we don't ever question because we just take that as reality. So, a good signal to examine a belief is if something in your life is causing you pain or suffering. So, I was doing this reflection, it was really insightful. I found a lot of negative ones, and I want to reframe them to be positive versions that I will use as my new belief operating system and what I will give to the next generation once I have kids. So I'm going to go through each of them, and for each, I'm going to say the old negative belief and then the new positive belief. So the first one, my sheet. Old belief: if somebody causes me pain, they're a bad person, and I will judge them, hold resentment towards them, blame them for hurting me, feel like a victim, and just separate myself from them. This is a byproduct of the ego. The ego minimizes other people to their biggest flaws, and it's an attempt to protect ourselves. But really, it's not a useful belief in that it just causes a lot of undue suffering and it makes you a victim instead of the creator of your life. And really, when somebody hurts you, it's giving you information. It could be completely unintentional on their part. So the new belief system is that others are a reflection of me, and nobody can hurt me, they're only teaching me. For example, if a friend acts in a way that is rude to me or something like that, and I get really upset about it, I could hold resentment towards them, or I could realize, okay, I need to do a better job at setting boundaries with him and with other people. It's kind of like, I've heard this analogy and it helped me a lot. When you go to the dentist and they poke one of your teeth and it has a cavity and it hurts, you don't blame the dentist, say that the dentist hurt you, and then find a different dentist who won't tell you what your problems are. In that sense, the people that we interact with and associate with are all doctors of the soul that teach us so much about what we need to work on. So that's a lot more useful because it puts you in a growth mindset. It makes you the creator of your reality, and it makes it so you don't take things personally. In fact, you say thank you. Like, this is a blessing that what you did upset me because it's showing me what I need to work on. And I understand this isn't true in all examples. There's cases where someone could do actual harm to you, and it's not an educational moment. It's like a get out of there moment, fight or flight moment, and that's not okay. But the core thing is to not be a victim in your mindset, and to have a growth mindset, and to not hold on to negative feelings of blame and resentment and animosity as you're drinking the poison hoping that the other person dies. Like, you're just hurting yourself to try to feel better, but really you're not getting anything, and the other person doesn't know. Like, the thoughts that you're having in your head and the emotions you're having about the person, they're not experiencing. it's just in your head. So that's one. I think that's a really big one. Another one is the feeling that you need to go out into the world in order to make something of yourself, to feel whole, or like you're worthy of love. And I think this is very prevalent in American culture, where we see all these people who got super rich and we're like idolizing them all the time, and famous people, and it's admirable. But the idea that you need something external to feel whole is very flawed. What if that thing is taken from you? And I struggled with this for a long time. I tried to get wholeness externally through, like, the cars that I got, trying to rush into relationships so I could say, hey, I'm in a relationship, look at me. And really, I was just trying to source for external validation. And it's a fool's errand. And everything that you gain will be taken from you. Everything that arises within this reality, this form, will pass, including the universe. So trying to base your sense of security on the external is just going to lead to disappointment ultimately. And that's the core teaching of a lot of Buddhism, is that if you're attached to form, it'll lead to suffering. So the flip side of that is to realize that you're already whole. And to me, this occurred in this moment where I was with my mom like a year ago and my wife. And we were just going through my baby pictures. And they were both like, oh my God, you were so cute as a baby. And I had this thought of like, why? I didn't do anything yet. I had no accomplishments. I had no money. No status, no car, no Rolex. I didn't have any of those things. I was just a baby. But to them, I was just perfect the way I was. And I realized I've always been perfect that way. Like, I just exist. It's fine. I'm beautiful just the way I am. I'm happy that I exist. I don't need anything external to say who I am. Which is counter to all the social conditioning that you receive through marketing of like, you're flawed until you buy this product, and then you'll feel like you have status and people will like and respect you. That's a billion trillion dollar industry. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What negative impact would the economy have if everybody felt whole as they were? You realize that they didn't need to chase status for external validation. That'd be pretty crazy. Yeah. So the new belief is to realize that you're whole. And you don't need to prove who you are. You don't need anybody's approval. You don't need to gain anything external for validation. You could just be and be happy. Another one is to, and this might be a hard one for people. It's a hard one for me, but it's a goal that I aspire to. It's to love everything. English isn't that great of a language, I'll admit it. We use the word love for like, I love my dog, but I also love my wife. And I love my toaster. And I love this chicken tikka masala that I made. It's super good. But it's the same word for all those things. It doesn't make any sense. I guess in the sense that I'm trying to convey is that a deep presence, recognition, and appreciation for all that I see arise, and realizing that I'm deeply connected to everything. One of my friends said it like this, and I liked it. It was like, where the universe expressing itself, you are the universe. We're connected to everything on Earth. The trees are an extension of your lungs. I got that from Deepak Chopra. But just this sense that you're connected to everything, like you don't exist in isolation. If someone asked me to make an iPhone from scratch and I needed to mine the ore from the earth and then build it and program it, like I would just not be able to do that. So I'm very grateful that other people exist. What I'm trying to get at is that you can live with a state of gratitude and appreciation for everything and a deep respect for all that is. Yeah. The negative side of that is just to judge and to perceive other people and objects and things like that as other, and then to look down upon them in order to validate yourself, to try to elevate this false perception of who you are to feel better. So you realize this is all an even playing field and nothing's weighted higher than something else. You'll feel better. And the last one is just to be present in the moment. Be here now. Realize that this moment is all that you have that's guaranteed. One day you're going to die. I've had a couple near-death experiences really change my perspective. Because there'll be a moment where you're just looking up and you're like, whoa, I'm about to die. That's it. And the whole experience is over. So if you lead with that in mind, every single day is such a gift. And you really got to cherish every moment. Yeah. So those are the new beliefs I'm trying to live with. Hopefully that helped you. Just the idea of examining beliefs, taking pain as a signal to grow, and hopefully this will stop provoking or added some value. Thanks, and have a good day.